Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney.
Here.
Commissioner Castleline.
Here.
Commissioner Russo. Here. Commissioner Dutnick.
Here.
Judge Garza.
Here, we've got a full court. At this time, we'll get comments from citizens to be heard. Have you received any online comment? And then before we move on, after the consent, well, actually, I need to strike item number 5. Alyssa's not feeling well. She won't be here today. And then right after the consent agenda, we're going to hear item number 18. And then right after that, item number 19, and then continue with the agenda as posted. So no presentations. We'll move on to the consent agenda.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
We've got a motion to approve the consent agenda and a second. Any discussion?
Commissioner Cheney.
Oh, besides the corrected minutes, okay.
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo. Aye. Commissioner Dutnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Consent agenda is accepted. And then, like I said, we'll move on to item number 18.
I move to approve using funding from a vehicle registration fee collected to be used to purchase 6 traffic warning signs to help control traffic around the Rockport Fulton ISD campuses.
I'll second that.
You got a motion and a second. Sheriff Mills is not here today, but Lieutenant Cox. Yes, sir. Come on, what up?
Good morning to all. Lieutenant Rodney Cox with the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Mills has been in the work with the Rockport Independent School District about purchasing signage for our school zones here in Aransas County. The school zones will include Live Oak, Fulton, Rockport High School, Rockport Fulton Middle School. He began this inquiry back on October the 21st of this year. And he spoke with the auditor and treasurer's office about a fee that the commissioner's court agreed upon 2 or 3 years ago, about $1.50 per each registration vehicle here in the county. And that money would be utilized to purchase 6 signs for the district. As of now, there's about $35,000 in that fund, in that account.
All right.
I think it's a good idea.
I would like to possibly amend the motion to show that we approve the 6 signs up to a maximum of $25,000. Because in this, they show what the anticipated cost is. And he put in the background that he asked the commissioners to approve the expenditures of up to $25,000.
Yes, ma'am.
But that didn't make it into the agenda language, so I would like to just. amend
I'll
it.
amend my motion.
I'll second.
Include that.
Okay, thank you.
All right. All right, sounds good. Any other discussion?
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dutnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes
Thank you.
5-0. Thank you,
Thank you.
Lieutenant Cox. Item number 19.
Move to approve the request of funding control for the disaster recovery group in the amount of $10,000 to support the CBDGRG continued commitment to Aransas County disaster recovery and resilience.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. If you remember, this was tabled last meeting. Now we have representatives here. Come on up.
I know it was tabled for a couple of reasons. One, budget requests were due into the auditor, I think by April, but we were still receiving some in June that we did consider and implement into the August budget. And then also when we had a report from the group about a year ago, the comment or the statement was made that there wasn't much more going on and there was only one employee left, which I think is the executive director. And that probably it would just either be defunct or put into an inactive state as a group. Since there wasn't that much going on, I saw where there was a response to Winter Storm Uri in 2021, where $7,500 was spent in repair, which wasn't a lot of money, probably meant a lot to the people that received it. I just think that at this point in time, approving the $10,000 for next year is inappropriate. Okay,
This 10,000 is for this year though, right? Or is this for next year? Yes.
Introduction, I'm Danielle Hale, reside at 110 North Sierra Woods here in Rockport. I'm the Vice President of Coastal Bend Disaster Recovery Group, as well as the Emergency Management Director for the Port of Corpus Christi. I serve in a volunteer capacity with CBDRG as I have since the onset of the organization being funded created in 2015. Of course, I've had the opportunity to present to this Commissioner's Court a couple of times. This particular request, so just a little bit of background. The board over the last handful of years have really looked hard at where Coastal Bend Disaster Recovery Group can best continue to serve the citizens of the Coastal Bend, moving into what we consider blue sky days. Up to this point, we have been in full disaster mode, not only in the disasters that have been declared, but also supporting communities when they have major crises such as flood events or tornadoes, or fires. There's lots of incidents that occur that don't rise to the level of a declared disaster. What the board has recognized is the relationships that we have built are important and they have to be sustained. These are not just relationships here within Aransas County and the Coastal Bend, but these are state VOAD organizations as well as national level organizations. The volunteer board doesn't have the capacity to do that, as most of us are working in full-time jobs or elected officials, and some in the private sector as well. And so we feel that there's value in being able to continue the advocacy for recovery, to be able to work with the local officials, the emergency managers, to ensure that they have good, solid plans, to work with the organizations that are working in this region so that they know how to come together when there's a time of disaster. There is work to be done. That is a gap that exists that is real. When you look at the emergency managers across the Coastal Bend, still to this day, most of them are not full-time emergency managers or what I would consider dedicated professional emergency managers. It's not to say that they're not professionals. They're double-hatted, triple-hatted. Just within the last 2 weeks, even San Patricio County moved to merge their emergency management office with the fire marshal's office. So we went from what was dedicated positions in San Patricio County now to dual-hatted. We are here to try to help support that. The long-term recovery effort is a challenge. The reason CBDRG was created was because of this challenge, not because there was a disaster, because there wasn't a foundation to be able to be successful efficiently during a disaster. So when we created the group, we created that long-term commitment to the region. We want to be able to sustain that. Now, sorry, without trying to get super long-winded, the $10,000 ask. So what we did was we came back and we were out of money. We had unrestricted funds that had been paying all of our administrative fees from the onset. We have never used donor dollars that were dedicated to individual recovery for the purposes of administrating this organization. It has all come as dedicated funds for that purpose. We're out of that money. The board was trying to figure out how best to work this. Several of them suggested that we go towards the counties and ask for funding. Up to this point, we've never asked for a single dollar from any local governmental entity. I personally don't think that's the route to go, but I'm one member of a board, and I also agree that we have to do something. And so we have commissioners that are on our board, former county judges, former mayors who said, look, we're going to have to do this and we can make this work somehow. There's other counties that do this and we want to be able to try to do that. And so both San Patricio County and Nueces County have already committed. And so what the ask was, and Commissioner Russo, to your question about the budget, the ask was to each of our counties to help us identify $10,000. That wasn't to say that had to be Commissioner Court allocations from your ad valorem taxes. It was just simply an ask to help us. Since then, we've also moved forward to do a fundraising event. That's been pushed to probably the first quarter of the year. And so we're hoping, again, part of that ask may be sponsorships. It may be other organizations in the county. Like I said, the counties are committing dollars from their budgets. Others may simply just find other donors in their area. We leave that up to you, and it is a soft ask. We don't want to create any challenges for you. We know this is a tough budget that you guys are walking into. Timing just is what it was. We didn't intend for this to be a calendar or fiscal year ask. we just intended this to be a way for us to continue to nudge our mission forward until we can kind of figure out what the next steps look like for us. So we did buy ourselves a couple extra months with the commitments that we already have. Right now, we're trying to ensure that we get into next hurricane season. The board has a lot of work to do. There's no doubt. We're working closely with our executive director to try to figure out exactly how do we create metrics that make sense to you all to show that we're doing something actively engaging in your community other than just talking about it. But we are working with emergency managers. We are meeting with Mike Deere and these surrounding counties. We are representing you at various nonprofit organizations and trying to ensure that we have a path forward because we have to act quickly. The last time I presented to this commissioner's court in this room was right after Harvey. You remember, right? And we were talking about how do we transition from this initial emergency response into initial recovery. And there's still so much work to be done there. So I'll end with that. I'm glad to take any questions that you might have or any concerns. We welcome all of that opinion.
My question would be for the county auditor, what account is this coming out of? This shows 120-406-47.
That's emergency management.
That would be the emergency management fund.
Yes, sir.
One of the reasons that we did so well after Harvey, we did well after Harvey, we really did, was the fact that I talked to the leadership around San Patricio County about a year after that, and they asked me a question, said, how is it that Aransas County was so prepared and everything? I told them we've been practicing for 40 years, and we have. And it takes money to do that, and this organization has just done a marvelous job, and $10,000 I think is not too much to ask to help that continue, because we don't want to have we want to be prepared. Mike's doing a great job, and he's faced a couple of minor disasters and everything. But even if we had a hurricane, Mike can't do it all, and he can't do it all. The San Patricio folks can't do it all and everything. And this just brings a cohesive group together. I think it's a good idea. I'm very much in favor of it.
One of the big problems we ran into after Harvey with all the donations were coming in is the legality of us taking the money. And we found out it was kind of a major thing, and that's one of the big things. They served as a nonprofit that you could direct the money to, and basically we didn't have to touch it. I mean, I know I went to a lot of the homes, trailers, different things that y'all were responsible for putting together. They actually coordinated, correct me if I'm wrong, coordinated with some of the other groups like the Amish groups, and it was a joint deal where each one of these groups would doing certain things on building a house, and they were responsible for doing all the coordination of that.
So there's kind of three main there's a lot of work that we do, but the three pillars that are behind how we created the organization was, going back, I worked for Nueces County at the time that we organized the group. Lloyd Neal, the county judge at the time, recognized that the county could not take long-term recovery or could not take donor dollars and be involved in that process. And so that's when we looked at establishing the relationship with the Coastal Bend Community Foundation, which is longstanding and reputable, and they know how to handle those kind of dollars. So we partnered with them, and the foundation of what we are is a strong fiduciary to make sure that those dollars are put in a place that the counties and the community can feel confident that it's going to be used for the purposes intended to. The coordination element, as you mentioned, it's critical. We have we have multiple organizations in this region that do great work for assisting individuals who are a victim of disaster, survivor of disaster. However, what they don't have is the capacity to share case management across all of those organizations. And what we end up with is duplication of effort, unintentional. And then you have the state and national level VOADs that come in who don't have the capacity to do the case management at the local level either, because they don't know our people. They want to come in, they want to be able to swing hammers, do work, bring funding and all of that. So case management is a key component of what we do. And so we work with all of those different agencies, including Hands of Hope, and there's several others that are here in Rockport, to help them continue to do the good work that they're doing, Habitat, whoever, and then be able to have a bridge and a coordination element for the things that they couldn't accomplish, and bring that under what we call kind of the big top, and that is the coordination.
I don't think anyone is questioning the work that has been done. I think the question is, we're getting the request, and I thought it was for next year. I had no idea it was for this year. Well, after, when we receive budget requests, but I think people are familiar with the work and I appreciate that. I'd like to call the question, please. I'd like to call the question.
All right.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castellane,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Nay.
Commissioner Dukenyak, Judge Garza.
Aye. 4-1, motion passes. Move on to our regularly scheduled program, item number 4.
I move to accept the presentation, the third quarter report from the Forensic Fall Mansion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
Good morning,
Good morning, Ms. Hill.
Judge Garza and the commissioners. I want to introduce Dorothy Wood. She is the new assistant site manager. And to let you know that the site is fully staffed now. Yay. We'll be here to answer any questions you have about any of the projects that we do that relate to promotion of the arts or the historic restoration. So this is our third quarter report. Next.
And you said Dorothy is.
Dorothy Wood,
assistant site
she's the
manager?
assistant site manager. Mhm. And that is a position that they've always had. It was previously held by Jen. I don't remember her last name. You may remember. So today I'm going to report on our an expense report, our total hits to bids, what we're doing for promotion of the arts and historic restoration and advertising. Next. So for advertising for the third quarter, we spent $30,577. That's a breakout from expense with Helen Thompson. In July, it was $11,544. In August, it's $10,690. In September, $8,343. So we were provided advertising services for part of May, June, July, and August, but the billings come in, a month later. So we have completed our agreement with them. Next. In our total heads to bed, so I've listed our first, second, and third, just so that you can see what the total, and that's just heads to beds, that's not total visitors. So at the mansion, when people come in there and they pay at our desk there at the gift shop, then they have they're doing it manually. It's a little clipboard, and we ask them, are you staying in local hotels or B&Bs? And then they tell us yes, and we ask them how many nights. And so then each quarter their staff adds it all up for me and gives that to me. Okay, next. So these are some of the events that the staff are putting together, and Dorothy, of course, is here to answer any of those questions. Sea Camp, we always participate in that every year. They did an ice cream in a bag.
Yeah, they did one this past summer. And there's some, do that, we do the create your own hat. And we're also doing spooky stories for the school districts. And that was a very big success this year. And obviously, we are also adding new programs for it, not just school age kids, also for adults. So we're growing and getting new programs in, and we have second Saturday every month and Courtney goes in there and does that. It's an arts and crafting for the families. And we're going to continue some of the other things that we've been doing at the mansion. We're also adding a bunch of new stuff.
Oh, nice.
I just had one question.
Yes, sir.
Just, under hotel tax, under this, are we allowed to pay for pure tax?
That is no longer, that has ended.
Okay.
That ended
Well,
at the
I
end
don't
of.
care if we do, I just.
Yeah, well, we do. We didn't really want to continue that. It had started after Harvey and then through the pandemic that we couldn't get anybody. So they had an incentive, and sure enough, people showed up to do it. Well, we just couldn't justify that anymore, that we feel like that we need to spend those monies on programs that will directly bring people heads to beds. Excuse me. So, let's see, these are some pictures that I threw in. Let's see the next slide. Does that have our budget? Or you're going back to the budget? Can we go back to that for a minute? For that amount, I forget what that was. Yeah, so that, there it was, the tour guides, yeah, that ended in August. So this is the third quarter. You won't see that expense again here after.
I don't have a problem with that.
I know.
I know it's been done for at least a few quarters, maybe a few years. I know that the money, I believe that goes to the Cultural Arts District also goes against the salary. So it appears that it has been used for that.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that.
Well, you know, it was, for a while, we felt like we could justify it as bringing heads to beds when you make the tour experience something that's very, very enjoyable, and that families all leave here after seeing the tour and wanting to recommend it to their friends, and that they know that it's a great thing to do when you visit Rockport. So we felt like we could justify it for a while there, because the tour it is a really personalized tour, that beautiful home. But we would rather spend those monies on hopefully advertising and promotion. Yes, we bought a new stove, a Victorian stove that we've put in the basement so that we can start to have some cooking classes and that kind of thing. But I'm glad that you were for it, but we didn't feel like we could justify it anymore. Because none of the other museums pay their tour guides or their folks that volunteer. And everybody has a challenge with volunteers. It's right.
It is very challenging. If anybody wants to come out and volunteer, take.
My little grandchildren have always gone to the tour. They always love it.
Yeah.
My granddaughter, who is 12, and it's just incredible. Anybody actually want to know why they didn't have a ghost at the Fulton National?
I've been asked that question.
Yes, I always told her because it was a very loving home. It was their dream home. And they loved it so much that made us.
Redone, and it was all falling down, so local kids, including myself. Spent a lot of time rummaging through there at night, and the story got started that there were ghosts in there, and it made you feel like it was at that point.
Yeah.
Sure did.
And so these are just pictures of the various events and things that we've done. I think the staff had done. I don't do them. I'm part of Friends of, and we do fundraising, but we're usually supporting them. So next slide, please. So our projects in the works, we've already had a wedding or weddings.
We've had some weddings.
Weddings already in the fall, which is nice. That definitely brings folks from out of town staying in our hotels and visiting all of our businesses. We're still working on upgrading the kitchen with all the different artifacts that would have been in a kitchen, and getting ready for doing more demonstrations in a kitchen with a working stove. We did do our Victorian Halloween. We had a guest speaker who from Texas Historical Commission. He spoke on grief for the departed in the Victorian era, how people did that, how they, honored their dead during that period. And then we recently had Arbor Day, which some of you came out for that. We planted some trees there. And then our Victorian Christmas, got a lot of things.
Yeah, in fact, today, Sean, we have volunteer, they're cleaning the house for Christmas. And we have a lot of activities planned for that day. And we're going to have Abraham is coming out fast. And Gary's and Wheels and Buyers all over town. And we have different groups coming out for national, one national park's going to come out and set up booths and stuff. And we have some other people coming out to set up for education purposes. So this is my first year. I've been there at the museum for a total of 3 months now. And I'm still learning, but this is not my first.
But, and Dorothy, I should say, comes from a museum background.
Yeah.
I want to briefly-
Yeah, I ran a county museum in Helena, Texas, in Carnes County. And I helped with the restoration. I did grant writing and stuff for that county, and got the county courthouse restored. And I'm still writing grants and grants for them to finish up so that way I can get more buildings and stuff. The Ruckman House has been restored. I've also done things for Texas Living University. That's where I graduated from. So I've done health building projects there because of the church and stuff in the city. And because of Santa Maria is in Karn City, it's one of the oldest Polish settlements in the state of Texas. And we helped with the Catholic Church and we went in just to paint the ceiling. And we found out there was art here. And we ended up redoing the whole ceiling and we had to get a little Catholic diocese, having them come in and get us a real artist to come in and help us with the restoring of that. And I have a list.
So she's,
Go.
You're hired.
okay, next slide. Those were just our posters. One of our educators is a graphic artist, so she's helping us put together some real attractive posters. Just to give you an example of what we're doing to promote it. And then for advertising, just to finish that up, since we're still reporting on third quarter, these were the kinds of things that we did, which you're probably familiar with, to target our audience. And we used the advertising agency's advice on that. If you have any questions, otherwise, next slide. And we did public radio and we had billboards. Next slide. And that was the big billboard, beautiful, stationed outside of Dallas and San Antonio on your drive down to Rockport. Next slide, please. And that we use geo-targeting as well. And I think everybody does that nowadays. So, all right, next slide. And what was interesting about our advertising, we did get results. I went ahead and included May because that was the entire contract with our advertising agency. So that they had how many times an ad was viewed each month and then how many clicks. So there was an average of, we'll total that up. 600 and something. Anyway, you can see the numbers there. I had it somewhere, a little over 600 clicks per month that they were clicking on it. And so when they click on that, then they get information about, Rockport as well. And visiting Rockport, all the fun things to do here. So we feel like it was very effective in people looking at it. Next slide. And of course, we believe that advertising is important because everybody benefits from it, not just us. But it entices them to come to Rockport, and there are lots of things to do. We have lots of museums, we have wonderful history, great restaurants and motels and shops. And it's a fun place. That's where I always came here before I moved here. It's a great place to visit. All right, next slide, please. And again, I just want to thank all of you, Judge Garza and the commissioners, for your continued support. And I always remind you, you have an open invitation. We will be posting guys would like that. And you and your family to come. And thank you again. Have any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Castro.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dugan. Judge Garza.
Aye. Passes 5-0. Item number, so I'm struck item number 5, item number 6.
And move to approve resolution R 28, 2024, selecting Pate Dawson Engineers for professional services to complete the shoreline delineation survey and category 1A land survey, Go Mesa CMP PSN project, Copano Cove Ranch acquisition project, general land office contract for 24-099-005-E379, and authorizing county judge to execute necessary documents.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Cat's out this morning, not feeling very well, so I'll do the best I can with any questions that you have on this item. As part of the Copano Ranch acquisition project or the Bailey Ranch project, the shoreline delineation survey was required. The county followed the RFQ process, received submittals, team evaluated the submittals, scored them. And they have selected Pate Dawson Engineers for that shoreline delineation survey.
Looked like they were the clear winners.
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Castro.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dugan.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Passes. Item number 7.
I move to approve resolution R 29-2024, selecting CBRE Inc. for professional property appraisal services for the Go Mesa CMP PSN project, Copano Cove Ranch Acquisition Project, General Land Office Contract Number 24-099-005-E379.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
Again, as part of the Copano Cove Ranch Acquisition Project, professional property appraisal services were required. We went through the RFP process. We received submittals, scored them, and we selected CBRE as the property appraisal service group.
All right. Any questions?
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Castleman.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dukenyak.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 8.
I move to approve resolution R 30-2024, a resolution adopting Exhibit A as the Aransas County jury plan.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. And District Clerk Hurd is in court right now, right? They have, yeah. Do you have any questions?
No. The
Okay.
district judges brought this, and I think
Right.
it's similar to what they have in the other counties, they said.
You're forward.
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Castleman.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dukenyak.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 9.
I move to approve the order of the District Court for Aransas County, Texas, entitled prohibiting outdoor burning for a period up to 30 days due to the existence of conditions that have created a public safety hazard that will be exacerbated by outdoor burning.
Second.
Did that have the order number in it or no?
Yes. Well, he didn't.
She didn't say it, but just to amend it to show 23/2024.
All right, did we have a second?
Second.
Bob second. All right.
It's the effective date today.
Effective date would be today, once we approve this. And we're trying to let it roll, and right now, I think forgot the numbers are 577, I believe, or it may be higher. Oh, it says 587, but today I think was 577. Anyway, we gotta get there. We're the only county in South Texas that doesn't have a burn ban.
I have just one question.
Yes, ma'am.
On page 3, under section 7, it says it'll be for 90 days, but then it says it'll end on the 24th of January. I think it should be February. It's 90 days.
We only approved it for 30 days.
Yeah, we only got 30 days in the
Well-
motion. What do you suggest, 30 days or 90?
That's just 30 days.
Okay,
Okay, so then change section 7 to say 30 days, and it won't be January, it'll be December 24th of 2024
yeah,
or 2025. That'll be Christmas.
all right. We'll approve it and then we'll make the corrections and we'll sign.
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Castleman.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dukenyak.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 10.
To approve the second amendment to purchase and sale with buy between Rockport Property LLC and EDC-CC Land Holdings LLC, Aransas County, Texas, to extend the closing date from December 31st, 2024 to March 31st, 2025, and to authorize county judge to sign the necessary documents.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second?
This
Yes, ma'am.
particular second amendment only amends the closing date from December 31st until March 31st of next year. I've been in contact with Janae on this. And the issue here was that we had to do the RFQ process and the RFP for the land surveyor and appraiser that you just approved. I went through what the land surveyor submitted and I said, it could be real fast, it could be really long. We don't know. We're gonna do both the appraiser and the land surveyor at the same time to the extent that we can. They're The appraiser will likely have to wait on the report of the land surveyor. But if that's not the case, we'll get that wrapped up as soon as we can. If they do have to wait, we want to make certain that everything the land appraiser can do, they will, so that they're only waiting on the land survey. So, at first, we were just gonna move it to January, and I said, we can. But I think we'd have to bring it back in January, so to save some time, we might push it out. And then, of course, if everything finishes earlier, the amendment states that we can move forward with the sale. Whatever's earlier.
You can't tell by reading the agenda item, but I'm assuming this is for the Coconut Cove Ranch.
Yes.
Yes, there's sorry about it,
I
yes.
think should have had that in the agenda.
Yeah, that's
Do you want to add that?
I would recommend we add that. I mean, I just felt like it should have been in the
Right.
agenda for somebody that didn't know that was reading the agenda.
It was in the subject matter, but
yeah.
that makes it, you make a good point.
So amended. And just to confirm that the cost to the county for this extension is $10?
Yes,
Okay,
Did we get an amended motion?
I don't know who made them.
I make the motion.
Did you want to amend to include Coconut Cove? Okay.
Coconut Cove Ranch.
Who seconded?
I'll second it. Okay, now I don't know who seconded it for,
That's.
We'll watch a video.
Okay, so we're moving on the motion?
Yes.
Okay, Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castellano, Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupont, Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Tracy, do you want me to sign this now or do you want to get their signature first?
The one we just had.
Right.
This is Janice.
Sign it while you got it.
Okay,
And then I'll get it to.
I just need to make sure I got a copy. Okay, that we get a copy back. All right,
Counterparts clause, so if they sign their own document, we can put them all together.
thank you. Thank you. That's what I was worried about. is getting it. Item number 10. 11, sorry.
And move to approve authorizing the county judge to execute documents necessary to complete the Microsoft Enterprise Agreement True Up Order through SHI Government Services under the Texas Department of Information Resources Technology Sourcing Office. Contract number 4092, as required on each anniversary of the 3-year agreement executed in December of 2023. No new money is involved.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. Mr. Jackson.
So we have a Microsoft agreement which allows us to
It's not Tyler, it's not Tyler, I got it.
have a Tyler agreement. No, sir. This allows us for all our Windows licensing, Microsoft products licensing. And each year they require us to inventory what we've used. If we've used more than what we have, we submit an order and they prorate an additional amount to our contract. In this case, we're doing what's called a zero true up, which means we haven't had any changes. As we retire a license or a piece of hardware, we bring in an equal device, so we're not changing our license count. So we just have to submit our order and sign the documents, and we haven't changed our license count,
This is bookkeeping, huh?
just bookkeeping.
All right,
Commissioner Cheney, Commissioner Castellano, Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupont, Judge Garza.
aye. I guess we'll see this in 3 years again.
No, next year.
Next year.
Oh, next year. Okay. That's at 3 years. Item number 12.
I move to authorize the county judge to sign project partnership agreement, TPA, between the Department of Army and the Aransas County for Gulf Intercoastal Waterway adjacent to Goose Island, CAP 204, beneficial use of dredge material project, Aransas County, Texas.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
And we are the pass-throughs.
Yes.
for the
Yeah,
GLO.
and there's just going to be a pass-through between the GLO and the Army Corps of Engineers. Because GLO can't give feds money, so they're going to pass it to us for us to be able to give it to them. There will be, this is authorization for the judge to sign. There won't be an official signing until February. There's going to be an official with the Army Corps of Engineers here and everything, a photo op.
for.
I was gonna use that expression, yeah.
What exactly is this?
They're going to be using dredge to build marshlands and stuff around Goose Island. It's to help build up Goose Island.
Okay.
It's beneficial using the dredge for that.
Okay,
And it is between the GLO and the Corps of Engineers.
now, are there, is that, you know, they've got a lot of, I guess, dredge material out on, 35 Coast Road. They're, you know, down south of Tacoma there. They've got, that's a bunch of dredge material. I think there's one on the west side of the road too. That's.
I think this is coming from the
This is
channel.
coming
Right.
straight from the dredge.
Oh,
It's hard to believe they could run that pipe and pump it that far. I
Yeah.
don't know how they're doing it.
I don't know
other
how
than
they're
that.
doing it. They're gonna barge. I don't know what they're gonna do. I just know that they asked the county if we could do this, and we've been working on this for several years. So it's finally coming to fruition.
Good show. I know I saw that 2,400,000, I was like, but then I saw.
that they are going to advance the funds to us, so we
Okay.
do not have to pay
Oh,
any
good.
reimbursement. They are going to advance. the funds.
Perfect.
Commissioner Cheney, Commissioner Castellane,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dukenyak. Judge Garrison.
Hi. And I didn't sign nothing, wait till February. Item number 13.
I move to approve the request to solicit requests for qualifications for mechanical, electrical, and plumbing engineering firm for the General Land Office Disaster Recovery and Reallocation Program.
Got a motion in a second? Ms. Jackie?
One of the projects that we're proposing is the water tank for the detention center. And so this would be an engineer to create that project, and we have additional funding. It's more funding than what we're gonna use to the ARPA money. Wasn't coming out right. And so we feel like maybe that we need to look at the engineering also, so this will be to solicit an engineer for that project.
Because we
Provided we are
picked.
invited to prepare an application, but we, you know, the timeline is so short, we've got to do this early.
Commissioner Cheney, Commissioner Castellane.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dukenyak.
Aye.
Judge Garrison.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 14.
To approve the request to solicit request for proposals for grant management to include grant application specialist. Environmental review reporting for the General Land Office Disaster Recovery Location Program.
I'll second that.
Got a motion in a second.
This again is for the same thing, so we have something on ready whenever we are invited to apply, so we'll have the professionals solicited already. I think February 30th, we will be notified whether we're asked to apply, and then the applications are due like April 3rd, I believe, so.
April 30th, it said.
Very short time period.
And there won't be any expenses incurred beforehand.
Not-
So if we don't get invited to apply, we won't be out of.
Right, we will not use them until we're invited to apply, because there's no reason to do it prior anyway.
Commissioner Cheney, Commissioner Castellane.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dukenyak.
Aye.
Judge Garrison.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 15.
Move to approve change order number 2 for the
15.
15, okay. Move to approve request to solicit request for qualifications for civil engineer firm for the General Land Office Disaster Recovery and Reallocation Program.
I'll second.
Got a motion in a second. Good morning.
Good morning. This, just like the previous two items, is just to get a civil engineering firm selected and available in the event we are invited to submit a grant application.
Because we have 3 projects in mind and we would need civil and MEP.
Yes, the MEP for the one, and then the other 2 would require this.
Good thinking.
Commissioner Cheney. Commissioner Castleline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dukenyak.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 16.
Move to approve change order number 2 for the construction contract for Southwest Aransas County in the county's general land office community development block grant disaster relief contract number 20-065-098-C270. LCR Total Transport LLC requests an increase in the contract amount by $205,382.20 and an increase in the contract time for an additional 126 days.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
There we have.
There.
Yes, ma'am.
On the GLO form, page 1.
Okay.
Where it shows change in contract time, down at the bottom. Right hand side, net increase. Of this change order in days, it says 189.
Okay.
So where did we get 126?
That may need to be verified. That comes out to the February 4th and may need to.
So maybe we've previously given them extension.
It says for this change order.
Yeah, that just may be an error. We would have to verify the 189 added to the, it gets us to the February 4th.
Would it be better to change it to 189 and if they get done in 126 days, everything's fine?
Couldn't say so. Yes, ma'am.
Sure about that. Yeah, I amend my motion from 126 days to 189 days.
All right,
Good catch.
Second.
all right.
And is that is for, I'm assuming, extra work that they're.
Yes, sir. Obviously, we're going to exhaust every bit of budgeted money on this grant project. And this in particular, this amount covered rebuilding, reclaiming, stabilizing A1 Hill Road. And we
Yeah,
hope
they appear to
that
be all of the 1069 crossings, they're
those are all.
putting guardrails in.
Yes, sir.
Now, are they gonna be on all of them or?
On the ones that are called out, I believe they're going to go on all of them, or the ones that are called out on the actual plans. Yes, sir.
Commissioner Cheney. Commissioner Castleline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dukenyak.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 17.
I move to approve the October 2024 treasurer's report.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Is the treasurer online? No?
I would just
Yeah.
mention.
She was gonna be online and I just gave her a heads up that she was next, so.
I know it's the treasurer's report, but looking at it where it shows for the month of October, I think that second fund, 136 Child Safety Fund, that's the fund where those
Yes.
cross light signs we just approved will come.
Mhm.
And that's showing 38,000, so we're more.
Well, yeah, we're collecting every month,
Right.
so
So it was at that time in October when the sheriff first contacted us.
There's plenty of,
There's additional.
yeah, it's a good use for that money.
All right.
Commissioner Cheney. Commissioner Castleline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dukenyak.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. We've done 18, we've done 19, item number 20.
Budget line, item, move to approve budget line item transfer.
Second.
We have none at this time.
Commissioner Cheney. Commissioner Castleline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dukenyak.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 21.
I move to approve accounts payable and payroll / payroll liabilities.
I'll second it.
Got a second? Okay.
There are normal payroll liabilities. There are some additional accounts payable that you see in there because the treasurer was able to put some funds in, some dollars into some of our investment funds. So they show up as an expense, but they're not really just moved into the investments. But in 430, we've got G&W engineers. They're the engineers for the generator projects. We spent $1,019.38. LCR, who is the, for the Southwest, Francis County Southwest project, for $257,483.45. The Grant Connection is the grant manager for Bay Shore Drive project for $3,720.83. And Orion is the contractor for the same project, and their final invoice, project closed out, $97,669.70. In ARPA funds, we spent $1,321.24 for Tile Technologies for the jury software, co-file for the district clerks files for restoration or digitization. $95,849.95. And 435, which is a downtown anchor, we have an invoice for Teal. It's the September invoice that we paid. It's $118,260.69. If you have any other questions.
On that September invoice, what was the last day it went through? Did it go through 9:30 or did it go through like 9:20 or?
I would have to look for sure. Normally they do it for the full month for 9:30, but I'll look and get back and let you know.
Okay,
for sure
it just, there's been, and I know September, almost 2 months ago. No visible action at the courthouse for quite a while, so I was just surprised to see that. And then there was 25,000 that went for juvenile detention.
Yes, ma'am, that's the juveniles that we actually have in the system and we have to pay for.
Send
their, yes.
Was that for worth of?
We have a number. I actually pulled that one and looked at it myself and I was surprised. Normally we have 1 or 2 new juveniles there, but there was like 7 and some of them for a full month. Some of them were and some of them were a full month.
Yeah, I was hoping that that was several months.
No.
No, yeah, that was like, yeah.
It's very unusual. We don't normally have that big of an invoice of that many people there.
Yeah, because we don't have that kind of a budget set up for it either.
Well, I don't think $60,000. And normally it's only a couple of $1,000 a month. This one was very unusual.
So it stood out.
Yeah, we had several kids in them.
And those are just Aransas County.
Yes.
That then we, okay, thank you. We vote on that?
Commissioner Cheney. Commissioner Castleline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo. Commissioner Dubnik. Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Section number 12, reports from commissioners, elected officials, and department heads. No action will be taken. Gentlemen, ladies. anything?
No, I'd just like to say thanks again for our community that came to the workshops and participate in government. So thanks very much.
I did want to say, was it last weekend? Not this past weekend, but the weekend before, there's a Warbirds.
Oh, yeah.
South Texas, went to the airport. Man, it was a good show. And I mean, I saw most of it at my house because they were, Aransas County is kind of small. I figured we were gonna get a lot. Did you get a lot of complaints?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I think unofficially somewhere between 8,000 and 9,000.
Yeah, it was.
I was thinking effectively a 1 day deal.
Yeah.
You said 8,000 to 9,000, between 8,000 and 9,000, yes, sir. I haven't seen the official numbers yet, but that was what was yesterday.
Good event. It was a good event.
Maybe we could get Cody to give sort of a raffle.
I'm sure we will.
I got to ride in the Devil Dog as a
Oh, nice.
sponsor and sat by the machine gun.
You were in the tailgunner spot, were you not?
In the where?
Tailgunner?
I did go back to the tail gunner spot for part of it, yes, but I was on the left-hand side for a while, taking care of business.
I'm really impressed with the variety of people out there, different age groups, you can tell there's different, there's all kinds of different, we'll say, social we pursued as far as that goes, really, did a great job of bringing it to the community, I think.
And
Yeah.
things over at Rockport, yeah, booths out there, the art center, and all.
They give away 2 scholarships.
Oh, good.
2 $1,000 scholarships, one to a student in flight training,
and what to assume it's going to, that aircraft maintenance program is on.
That was Wayne Little Rock.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm too scared to go up. I just, the way my luck is, I don't have the best luck. I was gonna mention, Michael sent me a video of the Cedar Bayou, and it's looking pretty good. I mean, it looked like it was flowing really well.
Really good. The helicopter pilot flies over it 2, 3, 4 times a day.
Yeah,
So anytime we want a video or picture, he'll do it, but he's also keeping an eye on it.
okay.
Officially, and says that he's even in low tide, low exposure.
Oh, nice,
Did you
nice.
get any pictures?
I got a video, but I'm still.
I mean, even the video, because
I'll send you.
that way I can send it to FEMA or Cheatham with my report.
Can that be shared with members of the board?
Yeah. Okay.
Probably, you and I.
No.
Okay.
Thanks.
Ooh. All right, we will, section number 13, reports about items of community interest. Anybody? Colin, you good? All right, closed session, do we need to go to closed session?
We will reset for today. I wasn't supposed to be here. We're supposed to be in court with Western Steel. Right now, it appears we'll be reset for January 16th. In the iWork case, I filed, already in Utah where we didn't hear about that, and I don't have anything to report on the other things. I haven't received anything else, so.
And so January 16th, is that what you said for the reset?
Yes.
Thank you.
So
move
other
to
than
adjourn.
that, I don't really see the need to have to go into closed
Okay.
session.
And the reset day had nothing to do with our case, our side, here.
Correct,
Just so y'all know.
correct.
All right,
To adjourn?
we got a motion to adjourn? Have a second?
Commissioner Cheney, Commissioner Kaplan, Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dipnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Thank you. 10 o'clock. I'm used to going to lunch after this.